Uh-oh. Trying to keep this light. I got the fan going a little bit in the back too. Trying to keep the light. Trying to keep my face in the light and keep her out of it. You want to be in the video today? I guess you don't. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Okay. This upload is about. See if I can get. Oh, that looks good. This episode is going to be about the series Breaking Bad. What is it? Season 2, Episode 7, titled Negro y Azul. Y Azul. My Spanish isn't so good. My Spanish is más o menos. Not enough to know what what these other characters were saying when their brother-in-law was placed in his new office, because this is a spillover from, well, it's not a spillover, it's a TV series, so I guess it wouldn't be necessarily a spillover. It would be just a continuation of a story. But this ep- this episode is actually White Light, or Mr. White Light. Actually, he's he's not he doesn't appear too much in the episode, just enough, I should say. This is really a look at Pinkman and the brother-in-law. Oh, and surprisingly, Mrs. White. At as far as Junior's concerned, in my opinion, and at this particular point in the series, I pretty much just written him off. I mean, not to say he's not a. I didn't not to say I didn't like his character from the start, but he just hasn't been. He hasn't had more than 2 or 3 lines in the last like 5 episodes or something like that. But let me try and get back to it. So the first thoughts when I saw the title, Negro y Azul, I go, wait a minute, hey, I'm African American. Don't use that word. That's our word. But no, the word literally means just black. Black as the color black, and blue is azul, or azul is blue. So it's black and blue. I think that's has to be in reference to the brother-in-law who's a DEA agent. Oh yeah, and they also have Danny Trejo makes an appearance in this episode. I mean, I know why would I get so excited about Danny Trejo? First of all, that's Machete, and respect that. But no, I learned a lot about Danny Trejo off YouTube. Actually, he's like a legitimate like old school gangster, um, ex convict turned like mild celebrity, if you will. No, but I like Danny Trejo. He's cool. I really like him. I really like. I was surprised to see him in this series. Not necessarily, not overly surprised, but kind of like, I guess this would be he would be the perfect definition of typecasting. I'm learning a few more terms. I'm picking up a few more terms here and there, trying to educate myself, I guess, so I can make these reviews a little bit more entertaining. But I was just surprised to see him. He actually played his part pretty well. Um, I'm just gonna break this review into chunks, and I'm gonna start off with the chunk that I like the most is the the D agent, the brother-in-law. Now, they've already done a great job of showing that there may be something awry, or something. Uh, his mental barrier may be starting to crumble, because depending on the person you ask in this series, or depending on the character you ask, they might say he was in the right place at the right time. But I believe this character feels like he was in the wrong place at the right time. Like, he was there to get a bad guy, but he wound up having to take the bad guy's life. And I think that was the first person he killed. And it's weighing heavily on him. And he's trying to be some macho tough guy and just like suppress it and shrug it off. But, you know, you're gonna feel. And this is going back to real life. You're gonna feel a certain way when you take somebody's life. You're gonna feel a certain way. It's you're not gonna be able to, in my opinion, you're not gonna be able to just glaze over that unless there's something else going on. But because I'm not a trained doctor in that field. I'm just saying it's gonna be hard, and this actor's doing a great job of portraying that through this character. Now, with that being said, he's got a promotion and he's in a different office. I think this office is further south, so it's closer to Mexico. So being able to speak Spanish is gonna be basically necessary for him to do his job efficiently down there. But he doesn't speak Spanish, so um, it just I went through this when I first went to high school. I was pretty much the only kid in there who didn't speak Spanish, so you never know what they're saying. You got to have the balls just to stand up and for yourself and just say, "Hey, what's going on? I want to." They're laughing at something. I want to laugh too. What's so funny? Or what's the joke? What's going on? He's doing that. He's sticking up for himself, but he's still like teetering on the edge. Now he just met Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo's character is an informant, and guess what happens? His nickname's the Turtle. I'm not even gonna try and say it in Spanish, but his nickname's the Turtle. Guess what they do to him? They chop his head off and put it on a turtle. They go down into the sea, and of course he's like, this is the first time he saw something like that, so he's completely shook from that, completely shooken, and he's trying to stay composed, but everybody just winds up laughing at him. Ooh, but then it takes a turn. They try and pick the head up, and it's rigged with an explosive device, some kind of crude mine or foot mine. It's like a pressure plate mine, something like that. That's just my limited knowledge of think booby traps of that nature. So they pick it up, boom, and it's a big explosion. I mean, it wipes out everybody. Takes the guy's leg out and lays like a couple more people out flat on their face, missing big chunks of face and chest and arms and things of that nature. So I'm thinking it wasn't mine. Um, yeah. So, but at this point, the brother-in-law is already back in his vehicle, trying to basically having a panic attack, a little bit nauseous. But he does the right thing. He does not necessarily the right thing, but he takes action. He takes his belt off and uses it as a tourniquet to save this guy's life because he's missing a piece of his leg and it could bleed out. So I like that. I'm really interested to see where this character goes. Sorry about the light. I'm trying to get a hang on it here. I'm really interested to see where that character goes. And now I'm going to go to Mrs. White. I'm also interested to see where her character goes. I guess you could say, I've struggled to see her point of view in earlier episodes. But as I've watched more episodes, I've come to an understanding of what where the character's coming from, and now she gets a little messy. We've already gotten a little bit into Mr. White's past. Now it's time to get in Mrs. White's past, and it's looking interesting. Um, I mean, just like looks like it's like gossip type stuff, like juicy gossip. She used to work in office. She goes back down there and gets her job back. Um, the elder is no longer alive, so the son is now running the business, and I'm pretty sure her and him had some type of past together or did something in the past together. I mean, they both went on to have lives and things of that nature, but something had to have happened. All this is going on while she's however many months pregnant. Oh God. And oh yes, and of course Pinkman. His Pinkman and his group of friends, they're not ragtag. I wouldn't say that. They are quirky at best. I think I'm using that word right. Like their speech is just it's like it's not even close. I don't get it. It's like really, 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 really corny, in my opinion. Yo, what's up, yo? Like, you get it, dog? You can tell they're acting. Maybe that's part of. I don't know. It's not bad though. It the way these characters are acting out. They're giving lines and playing within the setting. I think is great. It's not bad. It's just I didn't mean to criticize it if that's what it sounds like, but I find it funny and I find it hilarious. Maybe it's done to be hilarious. I don't know. Now, with that being said, I'm hooked. Definitely hooked at this point. I almost binged the rest of the season just right now. Almost binged the rest of the season, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to remember all these episodes every week. So I'm just gonna relax, let things play out the way they've been playing out. Tomorrow, Futurama, of course. Sunday, two movies. Monday, I'm gonna give a spotlight to an older movie.